Time now for a look at business with Mike Eppel from CityNews 680. Mike, good morning. How you doing, man?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. So quickly, an update on travel in the States post July 4th. How's it going?
I was just saying, the hits we're doing from Wonderland this morning. Good place to go because it's close by, Sid. You don't want to travel right now.
It's that bad?
Well, right now, today and yesterday, something like 43 million Americans were on the highways going to and fro for July 4th, which, according to the AAA, was a record. And then you had Air Canada over the weekend here canceling or delaying 2,000 flights. Wasn't that supposed to be figured out? First long weekend, really big travel weekend of the year, and 2,000 flights postponed, canceled again.
Minister of Transport Omar Al-Gabr is going to fix it. Check that. I saw him holding running shoes online the other day. That seemed to be the priority. We'll tackle that topic a little later on. But once again, Mike Eppel, not for the first time, bang on. Great point, Mike. Okay, let's move on to another Canadian minister who's in the middle of it here, Heritage Minister Pablo Rodriguez. And we've talked a lot about Bill C-18 and the fact that Google and Meta really before the end of the year plan on pulling all Canadian news off of those platforms here. It seems like the Liberals have been on a bit of an island on this issue, Mike. It seems, however, that that's going to change.
We actually have members of Parliament from 3 of the 4 parties set to join with the Heritage Minister in a news conference later today, Sid, to basically say the government's not backing down on Bill C-18. And Meta and Google are going to have to pay if they want access to Canadian news links. They're basically saying that the tech giants are trying to intimidate us, and we're not going to stand for it. Now, interesting footnote to all of this, Sid, is just a couple of minutes ago, big headline from Quebecor, big media company out of Quebec, just announcing they are pulling all of their advertisements from Meta platforms, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, because they're saying, well, if you're not going to pay for news, well, we're not going to advertise on your platform. So if you have maybe Rogers and Bell and the others joining forces now here, you ramp this up to another level. And then you start hitting the social media companies where it hurts in their wallet, so to speak, with the advertising dollars, the ads that we all see when we're all on social media. So this is going next level, I think, here, Sid, today.
Yeah, it's not often you see the Bloc, NDP, and Liberal. I mean, you see the NDP and the Liberals often get together, but to see a third party in there is rare for Ottawa. But I'll say this, listen, if I'm Pablo Rodriguez, the Minister of Heritage, if I'm Justin Trudeau, I'm looking at the private sector. I'm saying more, please. Keep that coming, because that's, better than anyone, Mike, that's where the rubber will hit the road on this story, for sure, when it comes to Meta and Google.
Indeed. Yeah, and they're not, and to hear them saying we're not changing the law, ostensibly, like, what are we, a week into it? Or it's been passed into law. It takes effect over 6 months, but the bickering already here just in the past few days, they're not going to say, I guess we made a mistake and we'll change it immediately. No, they're not doing that.
No, the PR war is in full swing, but I'll give the Liberals credit here. Today's going to be quite the sight. That's not something you see all the time. To be continued on that front. Also, to be continued, unfortunately, the widening gap between the rich and the poor in this country.
Yeah, the wealthiest 20% of Canadians control upwards of 68% of all of the country's national wealth. New statistics in kind of showing this disparity between the rich and the poor. And this has been, again, accelerated, exacerbated, whatever you want to call it, because of inflation, high interest rates, and a lot of Canadians with high debt loads, which is, again, widening the gap. So you've got lower income Canadians, the high net worth earners, and the higher level, they're not as affected by rising interest rates and inflation because they can afford it. The middle class still getting squeezed, Sid. So this is this whole issue of affordability, which has become a massive political talking point right now. This data coming out on the day that those grocery rebate checks will be heading out. I guess they're being actually direct deposited to Canadians. 11 million Canadians apparently qualify for the grocery rebate check, which will be just over $260 for singles, up to $628 per family of four. So the federal government sending out, upwards of $2.5 billion in this program, Sid. And it's kind of interesting that the feds are paying for it and the grocery companies aren't. Well, except for their tax dollars, but brings back the issue of, should there be a surcharge on profits and all these other things that have been talked about short term, sending out these rebate checks, not dissimilar to the GST, HST rebate for low income Canadians and the carbon tax rebates. A lot of rebates going out.
A lot. We'll see whether they help average Canadians.
It doesn't change the price at the stores.
But if you're the Liberals and going back to the PR aspect of what it means to run a country, it is something, right? It's not nothing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like this cures all, especially with the big grocery chains here really doing whatever they want, however they want. But it is something that Justin Trudeau can look at and say, look, we're trying.
I wonder though how effective it is, Sid, because you go and fill up the gas tank and you say, and you never think when you're putting the gas in the car and you're paying $1.60 a liter going, oh, I'll be getting that carbon tax back. Those two things do not correlate.
No, they don't.
I don't think, psychologically.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. We're going to continue this conversation as the show progresses. Mike Eppel, CityNews 680. Have a good day, man. Appreciate you.
You too.